Kelsey
and Kendra.
So today we're going to be doing something a little bit different on our vlog channel. We're going to be doing twin talk videos. We've decided to call them twin talk videos, and these are pretty much going to be us answering you guys' questions about life. It can be about relationships, friendships, or any dilemma you have in life. So these videos are not going to be about makeup, hair, or fashion, just because we want to do something a little bit different on this channel. And we've also gotten questions about doing videos on advice, so we thought this would be a good idea. And we just came up with the name Twin Talk. We thought it was a cute name. So we are going to try to upload these once a month on our vlog channel, because I know a lot of people were kind of disappointed when I told you guys that we were only doing 2 vlogs a month now instead of 4 every single week. So now you guys will have 2 vlogs every month and possibly a twin talk.
The topic we're going to be talking about today is basically being single, because we get a lot of questions about people asking us why we don't have boyfriends, and just, you know, wanting to know about things like that, like is being single a bad thing. So that's what this topic is about today. But for future videos like this, we want you guys to ask us questions in the comments below on what topics you want us to talk about in particular. So you can leave your topic or question in the comments below so we can see what you guys want us to talk about. And our future twin talk videos will be about the topics that you guys request down below.
Yeah. Okay, so we're not sure how long we're going to be sitting here talking, because we can talk about this all day, so we're just going to go ahead and just start talking about it.
So Kelsey and I get asked all the time if we have boyfriends, and when they found out that we don't, why don't we have boyfriends? And when we tell them we're single, they just look at us like they feel bad or something, and I don't know why. Let me know if you're single, if you get this or not. And people just, sometimes I feel like people want you to have somebody more than you do.
Yeah. And
it gets kind of annoying. You're like, I'm okay, I'm good.
Yeah. I just hate how people make being single a bad thing.
Yeah, they just look at you like you're sick or something. It's not a big deal. So being single is not a bad thing. If you're single, especially if you're young, we're only 24, we're not trying to get married tomorrow. No. So I feel like people rush your life, and they want to see things happen in your life more than you do. Yeah. And sometimes everybody has a different journey in their life, and maybe that person isn't ready for a relationship. Like us in particular, yeah, we enjoy being single. We like the single life, and
this is the first time we've actually been single. The past 3 or 4 years we've been single. And Kendra and I have always had boyfriends. Yes. I've had a boyfriend since I was in 8th grade. I think I was
9th grade for me.
4th. I was 14 years old, and I've always, from that moment on, I've always had a boyfriend. So up until 3 years ago, well, 4 now, yeah, I've been single.
We both have.
We've been single together. So we've just been enjoying the single life. And it's just so crazy to think how people are like, is something wrong with them? Why they got no man?
No, we good. We just we chilling. In long-term relationships for so long. Both of our last relationships were 4 and 5 years long. Yeah. So when you think about it, it's oh, this is their first time being free of being with someone. Yeah. So I think people don't understand the timeline. So if you guys didn't know that, then yeah, we've been single for 3.5 years now, and before that we were in long-term relationships. So with that being said, a lot of people always make you feel like you have to be in a relationship. Yeah, and we don't want you guys to feel the pressure of everyone around you to be in a relationship. Don't get pressured into being with somebody just because all of your friends may have a boyfriend. It's okay. Believe me, it ain't all that. Relationships really are hard work. They're stressful, and sometimes they're a hot mess. If you're in a relationship you ain't got no business being in. Yes. And I also think that a lot of people get into relationships for show. Just because I feel like they think it's a trend, I need to be with somebody just because everybody else wants you to be with someone. So, or if you're lonely. If you're lonely, that's the worst thing to do. Yeah. Especially if you're around other people who are in relationships. You feel like you should be too. And I always tell people, don't be in a relationship for other people. Be in that relationship for yourself. Yep. You always want to feel like you're doing it for yourself and not for everybody else around you, just to feel like you fit in. Yeah. Because 9 times out of 10, those other relationships around you are not perfect. No relationship is perfect. Yes. Yeah. So never feel the pressure to be with someone, because if that was the case, Kelsey and I would have been just found anybody and said, oh, I got a man now. Yeah. We don't do that. No. Don't ever feel like you need a man. You can always want to be in a relationship. That's normal. Everybody wants to be in a relationship. Well, not everybody, but most people want to be in a relationship, but never need anybody else. You have to always depend on yourself first. And if you're newly single and you just got out of a relationship, it's okay. Life goes on. And if you're newly single, please don't try to jump into another relationship just to get over the other one. We do not believe in that. The best way to get over somebody is to move on to somebody new. I don't believe in that, because you're just making things worse, and you're dragging somebody else along in the situation, and you might be hurting their feelings in the end. And
if you put yourself in their shoes, you would not want to be the rebound chick.
No.
Nobody wants to be the rebound or the person that they're just using to take their mind off the other person.
Yeah.
I believe in the healing process. And I told Kendra this analogy like a week ago. I think I said it's kind of like an athlete who gets hurt. If he breaks his leg, tears his ACL or something, he needs the healing process so he can get better in order to get back in the game. If he just got back in the game and didn't have a healing process, he would probably make things worse.
Yes, he's going to make the injury worse, and it's going to be long term instead of short term.
Exactly.
So you don't want to put yourself in more pain than you have to be, if that makes sense. This all goes back to learning how to be alone.
Yeah.
Please, we know it's easier said than done if you're used to being with somebody. We know firsthand. But you have to do it. That's the only way that you can get through it, is if you just go for it.
Yeah.
Don't drag it out and be like, well, it's hard. It's not going to be easy. We never said it would be. And things that are worth having aren't easy.
No.
So if you feel like you're in a place where you just feel like the world's ending and like you're never gonna get over that person, and you're like, oh, I need to be with them, especially if it was an unhealthy relationship, think about the light at the end of the tunnel, or like the glass half full. You don't have to be in a negative place because of that person, because 9 times out of 10 they're probably not doing that over you. Being single is a state of mind, I feel like.
Yeah.
You always have to change your mindset with anything in life in general, but being single is a mindset, and you have to look at it in a positive way.
Yeah, because it's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. It's actually fun and very liberating.
Yeah.
And you don't have to answer to nobody. You can just do you, and use that time wisely. This time is for you.
Yes.
So
I always say one of the most important things in life is time, because you can never get it back. So don't waste your time on an idiot. Please don't do that.
And a lot of people be doing that.
Yes, a lot of people are in relationships that they don't have no business being in. And if you know, like deep down in your heart, is this person really treating me the way I deserve to be treated?
Most people know, I just think they just don't bother to end it.
They're in denial, or sometimes they lazy. They don't feel like being single or waiting for God.
Or starting over with someone new.
I feel like you just have to trust and believe that the right person will be sent to you. Don't just settle for anybody just because you're tired of being lonely.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you're selling yourself short of what you could like have in the end.
And it also goes back to the individual. It's all about like self-worth and what you think you deserve.
Yeah.
So that's also why we said the healing process is important, because when you get out of that new relationship, you still caught up and you just in a dumb state of mind. Let's be honest, we all been dumb in some relationships. Yeah. But you don't want to be dumb in every relationship. You want to learn from the last relationship.
You're supposed to learn.
You're supposed to. You're not supposed to be picking the same type of person every time. So the single time is for you to get smart and for you to get to know yourself.
And
basically
better yourself.
To better yourself, because the way I think now is completely different from the way I thought like 5 years ago. It's amazing how the time we've spent single so far that I've grown already. As a 24-year-old now, I can say, I'm so glad I'm not that person I was. I was so stupid. Like, why did I do that? Like, everybody was young and dumb at some point. But you don't want to be old and dumb. That's not cute. So you always want to feel like you deserve the best. And if you don't, you need to work on, like, the self-love. Because it does take time. It doesn't happen overnight. And like we said, being single is that time for you. Just stay distracted, you know, because
put all your energy into whatever it is you're doing.
Yeah, whatever it is you're doing, just focus on that. And trust me, when you're not worried about this person and that person, the good things will come without you forcing it.
Yes.
Whatever is meant to be should not be forced.
Yeah. You definitely don't want to try to find happiness in someone else, because you're never going to find happiness in someone else if you're not okay inside. You need to work on this first before you can give your heart to somebody else.
Yes.
You have to.
Yes. Basically saying, if you don't love yourself, how do you expect somebody else to love you? Yeah. So, especially, it depends on the kind of relationship you want. I assume everybody wants to be with somebody who respects them and cares about them. Yeah. And if you're in a bad place and that person in your life is feeding off of that insecurity, that's not the person you want to be with. Because that's an insecure person as well. Yep. So, that's another reason I feel like why Kelsey was saying like people shouldn't rush into new relationships after they get out of one, because you're still like an insecure person. So, you're going to pick the wrong person, like I said. You're not in the right state of mind. Yeah. You ain't right.
Or you not ready. You ain't right or you ain't ready.
Yes, neither one.
Yeah.
So you need to know who you are before you can get to know someone else.
And then I also say, when you use like the single time I think is like I call it me time. Yeah. Just because I'm getting myself right for my Mr. Right. Right. You know what I mean? So I tweeted this, I think, one time. I said, insecure women attract insecure men. You don't want an insecure man, and don't no real man want an insecure woman.
Right.
So if you get yourself together, pull it together, work on yourself, go work out, eat healthy, if you become the best version of yourself inside and out,
the best person will come along.
Exactly. You're going to attract your equal.
Yeah, the right person.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people who have bad judgment with people and who don't know how to choose the right person for them, and 9 times out of 10 it's because you aren't ready. That's a sign. Like when stuff keep going wrong and it's not right, and like Kelsey said, deep down you're just in denial. That means it's not meant to be. So don't ignore the signs. Also, again, please don't settle. Like, settling is equivalent to wasting your time. It's the same thing. You're wasting your time.
Yep.
And it's just not going to end well. And also, I think a lot of people don't know how to be happy being single, because like I said at the beginning of the video, people look at you, a single person, and they think, oh, you okay? And I'm like, I'm great. Like, I would rather be single and happy than in a bad relationship and not at peace, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
So I'd rather be single and at peace and go to sleep at night knowing that nobody ain't cheating on me or treat me like crap.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I prefer that life than just being with the person who disrespected me.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Just to say you're with somebody.
Yes, I feel like a lot of people compromise like their self-love and their self-respect just for anybody. And I don't think that's okay. Especially if you don't want to keep going through an emotional roller coaster, because it can take a toll on you.
It's not gonna stop.
Yes, you will end up in therapy. But yes, it's a mindset thing. So change your mindset about being single, and don't go out seeking a new man, because that means it's not time for you yet. When you have to go looking, you shouldn't have to do that.
I always say the man's supposed to find you.
Yeah, we old school when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like, even if you don't work like that, if you're not the type of person, still give yourself that time. Like, don't rush.
Yeah.
Especially if you're young. Even if like you're older, everything happens for a reason, and there's a reason why you're single in that moment, in that place in your life. So just focus on being happy with yourself, by yourself. Do you
go out with your friends?
Yes.
Go have some drinks. Like,
have me time.
Yeah, go to the gym. It's a great way to, it's very liberating, for some people. I mean, not me. Yeah, we hate working out, but it is a good way to let out a lot of aggression. If you're just depressed, it's just a really good way to let out all that aggression, and you're, staying skinny or getting skinny. Like Kendra said, stay busy if you're newly single. Just stay busy. But when I think back to how I was when I first got out of my relationships and how I am now, I'm like a completely different person. Like, I'm just like, no nonsense. Like, if I come across a guy and he ain't got what I need, I'm just like, bye. I mean, I'm gonna need for you to ride out, because I don't want my time to be wasted. Like I said, you can never get time back. So use it wisely.
We're not the type of people who date just to date.
No.
Like we said, I don't want to waste my time, and I'm not a good dater. It's just really awkward.
It is kind of awkward.
For me, I'm just the type of person who just feel like I'm going to meet my husband when I least expect it.
Me too.
I want to date to find the one.
The one.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't want to date just to be talk to like 5 other people.
No.
I don't have time for that.
Me
so
either.
Maybe it just depends on your lifestyle. If you actually enjoy going out on dates, do you?
Yeah, that ain't for us.
We don't like that.
Yeah, just use this time to get to know yourself, love yourself. And somebody asked in one of our other videos, I think we mentioned this, getting to know yourself. Somebody was like, what does that mean? It basically means spending time with yourself
alone.
You can't get to know yourself if you're always around a bunch of people, or
not a significant other.
Or with a significant other. It's a distraction. You know what I mean? So just like, go get your nails done. Go get a facial. Go get a massage. Like, pamper yourself. Do you.
Read a book.
Yeah, read a book. No, it don't hurt to get a little smarter.
Even though we're twins, like, even though we like obviously live together and spend a lot of time together, we even have like our alone time in our rooms separate, just by ourselves, like spend the whole day in our own rooms. So even though we spend a lot of time together because we're sisters and we live together, we still have our own alone time.
Yeah.
So there's no excuse not to give yourself that alone time. And it feels so good and liberating to know that you good by yourself,
without
if that makes sense.
Yes.
Because then that's how you know that the person that's going to come along, they could be replaced.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. You never want to lose yourself in a person and make them feel like you're lost without them.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
They will use that as ammo.
Yes, they will use that and take advantage of that. And you never want anybody to take advantage of you because you don't love yourself enough. You always want to be good by yourself.
That's why I always say you can want a relationship, but don't ever feel like you need it. You don't need nobody but yourself and Jesus.
Right.
So yeah, I think that pretty much sums up how we feel about being single and why we're single. And if you're newly single, it's not a bad thing. Work out, Go get your nails done. Just pamper yourself.
Spend time alone.
Yeah.
Love yourself.
Love yourself.
Do you.
Or if you're newly single, like I just said, go out with some friends to get your mind off of it. If you're work, school, put all your energy into that and focus on that. As the, you know, weeks and months go by, it'll get easier. So everybody can stop asking us now while we're single. Yeah. And if you see somebody ask, tell them to come watch this video.
Yeah, let them know.
So yeah, we hope you guys enjoyed this first twin talk video, and we will see y'all in our next one.